Dear friends, both visible and invisible. Many of you are not visible to me. That doesn't matter anyway. A big salute to all of you, and a big thanks to our captain, Arunji, for giving me this chance to talk to you. Actually, I should mention one more name, that is Mercy Kappen. I hope she is among the participants, maybe invisible participant. It is Mercy who introduced me to Marx Forum, and she was very dear to Father Kappen, Kappen's niece, and I am Kappen's nephew. So
Mercy is here. Mercy is here.
Okay, welcome, Mercy. I did see, no problem. So, of course, there is another fellow, an artist, C.F. John also must be there, very close to Father Kappen, a famous artist, C.F. John. Well, as we believe in God, invisible, almighty, I believe in their presence. Now coming to the topic. See, I've taken these ideas from Father Kappen. Counterculture and the revolution of symbols. Counterculture. You know, the first book that Kappen wrote is From Faith to Revolution. In that, he is not living back, giving up faith. He is and embracing revolution. Throughout his intellectual life, he has been striving hard to find a synthesis, dialectical synthesis of both faith and revolution. And I believe counterculture is the culmination of the search for a synthesis. Now, to understand counterculture, first we must understand what culture is. See, culture is very much a part of our life. And what are the building blocks of culture? Just now I am talking to you. See, when I am talking to you, I must have some values. I must follow some norms. See, I must have some beliefs. See, here among the participants, many are invisible to me. I have to believe in their presence. And so beliefs, values, and hope, and aims. See, when I talk to you, I must have some aim for what I am doing this. So these things, beliefs, values, aims, hope. See, always we will have the hope to achieve what we aim at. These are the building blocks of culture. And this is rather abstract. But all the cultural institutions, including family, caste, religion, even political parties, they are the centers where these values are being produced and distributed. So cultural institutions are there in every society. And always in any society, there will be a dominant culture and different layers of culture. And the dominant culture will be always the culture of the ruling class. Also, any society must have certain structures. See, structure of economic structure, for example, most basic structure is economic structure. Say, consisting of force of production, relations of production, and all that, you know. And there, material production is taking place. There is another place, that is the political structures, the democratic structure in our society, for example, where power is produced and handled. So a society is a very complex entity with many different cultures and structures. Now, in the development of any society at certain stage, contradiction may arise between cultures or cultures and structures or between structures. So the different possibilities of contradictions arising in a society. Now, the days of Marx in Europe, see, the biggest contradiction was between the forces of production and the relations of production. The relations of, when the relations of production stand in the way of the forces of production, the objective conditions for revolution will arise. That's what Marx said. So that is called class struggle. Two classes emerge. One, the revolutionary class, the proletariat, and the other, the bourgeoisie. And the struggle between them is the class struggle. And for dogmatic Marxists, this class struggle is the only form of revolution. Kappen doesn't agree with this. In India, you know, the situation is quite different. See, as you know, those who have attended the previous session know, our culture, in our culture, see, pure class is unimaginable. As Uma Chakravarti mentioned, better word for Indian society is not class, but caste. You know, both class and caste going together. So in India, there are intellectuals who claim that if at all any class struggle is to take place in India, it has to be preceded by a caste struggle. Even Kappen doesn't agree with that. Now let us see the analysis, Kappen's analysis of Indian society. In the Indian society situation, see, the real contradiction is between the structures, economic and political structures on one side and culture on the other side. Because these economic and political structures are imported Western model of structures. And these structures demand from us certain values like individualism, competition, profit motive. See, who is an individual? One who is indivisible in himself and divided from all others. Can we find anybody like that, say, in our group? I am not definitely, you know, because we are all deeply related to a religion or a caste or a religion or caste or family. You know. So the capitalist Western model of individualism is impossible. Also being members of this family or caste of religion. See, these three in the inner structure are not egalitarian. Egalitarian is, see, all are equal before law in the capitalist value system. That is impossible here because all these structures, religions, all these inner family, caste, these are all hierarchically ordered. The relation is hierarchical. So competition. See, if everybody else in the society is either above me or below me, I cannot fight with others. So this competition and profit motive, that is the only value, must be profit, money. So in this situation, what is the actual contradiction? The contradiction is between the Western capitalist mode of production and political system or democratic system, which needs its own system of values. But what we have here is the dominant culture is the culture of caste. So that caste is not suitable for this Western model of democracy. So one possibility is just preserve the capitalist Western model of economic and political structures and fight against caste that we have been doing by legal methods, prohibiting caste and protecting the Dalit people, lower caste people. But we know it has been a failure. So what happens because of this contradiction between our value system and the structures, democratic and other structures, there is so much corruption in our society. When somebody comes to my office, if I am there, I suppose, I cannot just see him as an individual just like me or like others. He may be a member of my family or caste or religion. So even inwardly, I'll be forced to, help him out of the way also, This internal, that unconscious upsurge, that urging, for doing something, that is what Zizek, you might have heard of that famous controversial figure called Zizek, calls ideology. So ideology is this unconscious urge to do something. So both these possibilities are out of question. Now, what is the next possibility? Next possibility is just demolish all the democratic capitalist structures and rebuild on the basis of our traditional values, traditional caste culture. That is an alternative. And that is the alternative now put forward by Hindutva. But remember, if we know the dangers of that, Kappen has written a beautiful article in the days of the Ratha Yatra, Hindutva emergent fascism. That with a question mark, Hindutva emergent fascism. In those days, that question mark had some relevance there. But today, we know that question mark is just going out. Hindutva is fascism. So, what Kappen suggests is, we must approach these two sides, the structures and the culture, dialectically. Dialectically means preserving all the positive aspects of both and eliminating the negative aspects. This is possible only by creating a counterculture as a synthesis of the existing culture and structures in conflict. So this is what he means by counterculture. He wrote this in the end of 1982. He wrote it on 82. It was actually a talk. See, I am reminded of Arunji's. He told me this morning that I should not be very fast. But I doubt, Arunji, am I very fast? I hope I'm not.
You are right. Please carry on this pace. Carry on this pace. Please.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Carry
okay.
on this pace. You are very audible and understandable. Please carry on this pace.
Okay, thank you.
You have got another 20 minutes around with you.
Only 20 minutes more?
Around 20 minutes you have. There will be a grace of 5 minutes or so.
Okay, I
Around
have
20
to skip
minutes you
many
have.
things.
Carry on, carry on.
Okay. Okay. Now, after writing this article on counterculture, 10 years after that, he wrote an article towards a revolution of symbols. You know what happened? He was impressed by an idea of Jacques Lacan, a famous psychoanalyst who has sort of, reformulated the whole Freudian psychology. Jacques Lacan. His idea of symbolic order. And I mentioned about Zizek, he is actually a follower of Lacan and a philosopher. He is bent on reconstructing Marxism. So the symbolic order, we must know, even to know counterculture, that's the problem. What is symbolic order? We know. See, we all, right from our childhood, have so many experiences. We see, we touch, we experience so many things. From all these experiences, certain images, certain words, certain stories, all this sort of trickle down to the depth of our mind. From that is from where these elementary elements, I mentioned earlier, all the values, all the norms and such elements of culture sprout from this area in our mind. We are all living within a sphere of so many images, so many stories, myths, symbols, metaphors, and all that. Without understanding this, we cannot understand revolution of symbols. This, my major part of it is in our unconscious of this symbolic order. And Kappen renames it as symbolic universe. We are all living within a symbolic universe. Each community has its own symbolic universe. It acts on us as a big other, controlling us. Same. And there is another sphere within which we are living, that what Lacan calls the imaginary, the power to sort of the critical sense. We can criticize the dictates of the big other. See, God is a big, powerful image in the symbolic universe. So, what Kappen says is, see, we have to deconstruct the symbols. To understand this, you should know what a symbol is. What is a symbol? Our national flag is a symbol of our nation, we know. But is it a symbol of our nation for a foreigner? No. For a foreigner, it is. National flag is just a sign pointing to India. It's not India. See, it is like, an arrow turned towards a toddy shop, okay? That arrow is a sign pointing to the toddy shop, to we normal people, But for a drunkard, just that arrow itself may be a toddy shop. That is what is called symbol. That is, when we believe deep that, when this sign, the flag, is same as our nation in our heart, when that flag is attacked, we feel as if our nation is attacked. So tomorrow, if we are forced to believe that cow is a symbol of our nation, if any cow is attacked, we will feel that within us, we will be deeply offended. And we have seen this done in our country. Here you remember one point I want to make. You see, when in India, in certain areas, cow slaughter was banned. We have seen people in the media, we have seen people on the roadside killing cows and distributing the meat. Is it the method? Is it the way to fight this dangerous thing called symbol? Symbol is as dangerous as atom bomb if it is exploded. You know, it was totally stupid to kill the poor innocent cows on the road. Why? Because cow is actually a symbol of another thing in India. For thousands of the people, farmers in India, cow is a symbol of prosperity, is a symbol of divine benevolence. So by killing the cows, we were offending thousands of people, and we are making them, just throwing them into the hands of the Hindutva fascists. This is what Kappen says. This is not the way. We have to deconstruct the symbols. That's Kappen's point. So this deconstruction of symbols is what he calls symbolic revolution. And actually, this symbolic revolution gives psychological depth to his theory of counterculture. Now, I shall explain these things. I am a bit frightened because the time is running out. Anyway, whatever I say, I want to make clear. I hope and I believe that you are following me. Now, with an example, I shall explain these things. Let us come to into a counter-cultural movement in India, that is the Buddhist movement. We have heard a lot last time, you know, from Uma Chakravarti. She has written a beautiful book, Social Dimensions of Early Buddhism. I have taken these points from that book, you see. The point is, the Buddha, in the Buddha's time, there were two types of, not confirmed. Oh, okay. There were two types of political power. Kingdoms were there and Gana Sanghas were there. And these Gana Sanghas were democratic administration. And the kingdoms were, of course, monarchic. And these democratic areas, Gana Sanghas, they were constantly attacked by the kingdoms, and the kingdoms themselves were attacking each other, and certain kingdoms were fast enlarging, and agriculture was increasing very fast. Traders were increasing number. In that situation, for administrative purposes, the Buddhas appointed the Kshatriyas to rule over the people as officials, as the bureaucracy. And the officials were largely from Kshatriyas, because Kshatriyas were believed to be ordained to rule. So Kshatriyas became a powerful community, and Brahmanas, you know, each king wanted protection from other kings, other kingdoms. And the Brahmanas gave them protection. To protect the kings and the parivar, the Brahmanas went on killing animals. Animal sacrifice was the main ritual for the getting divine grace and protection, you see. So there was a total atmosphere of violence between humans and against animals. In that particular very critical situation, Buddha came forward as a prophet. You know, prophet and prophecy, these words are very important to Kappen. Who is a prophet? In very critical moments in any society, you see, certain persons come forward with a critical mind and a vision of a new future. Such a person is a prophet. Jesus was a prophet. He had the vision of a new world that was kingdom of God. Marx was a prophet. His vision was that of a classless society. So Buddha came forward as a prophet. He didn't oppose the caste culture directly. This is the point that we must remember. He was trying to create a counterculture. How? See, he was introducing a new culture of, non-violence, ahimsa, unity, that is Sankhabodha, based on karuna and maitri. So that was a counter-cultural movement, a culture countering the caste culture. And there, you remember, this word Brahmana was a symbol. It was a symbol of very high virtues obtained by birth. So the word Brahmana was a symbol. It was equivalent to higher values, spiritual values obtained by birth. Buddha didn't give up that word. He kept that word in Buddha's, discourses. Even first I was, surprised to see this word so many times in Buddha's discourses, you see. He kept that word, but gave a new meaning. He deconstructed it. Brahmana is no more a person who has all the qualities by birth. It is a person who acquires all these values by his life, by his deeds and words. This is what he said. This is a deconstructing symbol. And another thing, say the whole Brahminical caste structure is based on certain metaphysical concepts. It's like, in the Purusha Sukta, that Adi Purusha and all that, But how Buddha counted it? He never mentions anything about pujas, priests, or nothing metaphysical. It was totally this worldly. So his movement, Buddha's movement, was a revolution of symbols. Now, let me come to more dimensions of this counterculture. Next question that we have to ask is, from where are we to get the resources for a counterculture? Kappen says, well, we have to go to our primal sources of our culture. Just as a river, in its origin, we can find pure water. Just like that, we can find very higher humanizing elements in the primal sources of our culture, and Kappen takes us to the Vedas. Then, see, in the Vedas, the man-nature relation, Kappen quotes from Atharva Veda, the earth is my mother, I am son of earth, the rain giver is my father, may he shower on us blessings. All creatures born from you move round upon you. The earth is not only we humans' mother, it is the mother of all the creatures. See how holistic it is. Then, see, in Bhumi Sukta, see, again to the Mother Earth, oh purifying one, may my thrust never reach right into your vital points, your heart. See, we humans, we have to dig your soil, but let that never reach your heart. So much concern, Mother Earth. Don't think these things were there only in the Brahminical tradition. See, I have done some research on our Dalit culture in Kerala, Parayas, the Dalit community. You know, there are their business is to call all the gods to the spot and do mantras, mantravadam, magic, and heal the people. Now, for calling all gods to the help, you know what they did? See, they recited a chattupaattu. It is called a chattupaattu for calling gods. So, in those days, this chatting was there, even between these violence and gods. And that chattupaattu, you know how it starts? The earth in which I was, the earth from which I came out, let the earth join with earth, unite with earth. Let the earth join with Mayas, unknown spirits, and the Mayas join with Mayas. Let all humans, living, dead, and killed, let all join together. Then so many things, father joined with mother, etc. Finally, you know how it concludes. Let regions join with each other in unison and shine forth. Then only God will shine. Look at the God concept of those people, concept of God. A God so helpless that God can be pleased only if that the Parayas add. Here, I would like to add one thing about the word God. See, is there God or not? That stupid question, let us leave to the rationalists and the priests. It's a bone of contention for them. It is irrelevant for us. God is there. In our symbolic order, God is there as a master signifier. You know what a master signifier is? Any word or anything that can influence us without any particular meaning. See, for a symbol, it has a fixed, definite meaning. That is a symbol. Whereas a master signifier is a signifier, a word which can have number of meanings. But though it has so many meanings, in spite of all the meanings, the very voice, the noise, word, that word, shabda, that can influence us both physically and spiritually. Such a thing is called a master signifier. And what are the organized religions? They fix a particular meaning to the word God. See, in Kerala, before all these, temples came, how the God existed. See, then the people just put a stone under a tree and worshipped it. Now what happens is all the organized religions give a particular name to the word, meaning to the master signifier God, and say, this is God. This is our God. That is his God. So we get this God who divides the humans, who make the people fight each other, and the present war in in between Israel and Palestine. It is a fight between two gods. A God who said, I am the only God, Yahweh, over. And the other God. Same thing, both are similar in one thing. Both are most fascist in nature, I would say. So that is so much about, and Kappen's main critique of religion is this. That's very important, you see. In any organized religion, see, they totally ignore the total liberation of the society. They have nothing like that in their mind, social and structural sins, crimes are totally ignored by the organized religions. Their focus is on personal sin. And to them, of course, these are my words, sin is a commodity in the fast increasing, fast growing spiritual industry. So much about this. Now, see, we have seen our, about our relation with nature. Next is relation between man and man, humans. Here, Kappen says, again, go to the Vedas. In the Vedas, there is something called karma. Eros, karma. What is this in the Vedas? It is the Adiyada, the firstborn, loftier than gods, bigger, powerful, more powerful than gods. Karma. That is the cosmic force. That is the force that unites everything, every human. That is the force that unites human beings of opposite sex. Such a cosmic concept of karma we can see in the Vedas. But today, that karma has been reduced to something at a particular point in our body. So what happens to karma? Then let us come to secular spiritual religiosity, Kappen's secular religiosity. What is religiosity? What is religion? Religion points to humans' urge for meaning in life, the ultimate meaning of life. We are frightened whenever we find something that we cannot give a meaning. When men were created, they were asked to give names, because without even a name, we cannot, accept. We will be frightened. So there's a deep fundamental urge in every human being to know whatever is not known, the unknown. So that urge for going beyond what is evident to me, that urge for the ultimate meaning of life, that is the root of religion. Then what about God and religion? This for Kappen, once, years back, at Kottayam, he was giving a lecture. I was there. It was a seminar. In that seminar, he was asked whether he believed in God or not. Kappen said, well, I don't believe in any God who created the whole universe and is ruling over us. I don't believe in such a God. But when I hear the cry of the poor and the downtrodden from the streets, I am pained, I am agonized. What is the source of that pain and agony? To me, that is God, he said. So that is something that we experience, not something beyond nature. That is something we experience. Every human being experiences this sort of experience, agony. And the source of that is God, he said. Then towards the end of his life, he totally gave up this word God and replaced it by another word, the divine. And in his last article, he explained two ways in which the divine reveals to us. One is as a gift in all that is beautiful, in all that is good in life. The divine appears to us as a gift. And before that gift, we have to have the attitude of adoration, submission. Another way is, wherever there is injustice, there is, untruth, where there is, oppression, there is a challenge to fight against it. Jesus was a man who was killed because of taking up this challenge to fight against the most fascist Jewish religion of that time, of Jesus' time. Of course, out of that person, they have created what is called Christ Almighty today. So Kappen's secular religiosity is focused on this, the divine, that is something that we can experience here and now in this world, not outside the earth, not a force outside the earth. Then,
sir, I think you have to
finally,
wrap up. Sir, I think you have to wrap up within next 5 minutes. Sir, I think you have to wrap up in next 5 minutes.
5 more minutes?
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay.
Five.
No problem. Okay, 5 minutes. Just 1 minute. See, Kappen's notion of a paradigm shift. Paradigm, I shall explain with the example, I shall explain that you take little time. You know, in Europe, before the French Revolution, see, the whole Europe was sort of dominated by the Christian culture at the top with Christ the King, King of the whole world, you know. That God was replaced after the French Revolution by a new God, that is scientific reason, rationality. And this God, this reason, you see, that destroyed so much of humanizing elements in us, or so many values, this scientific, we are still under the influence of this scientific paradigm. That is what Kappen says. Of course, I cannot go into the details, but you know, science can see only things as parts. They cut everything and analyze. There is no sense of wholeness, no holistic approach. So from this scientific paradigm, we have to build a new holistic paradigm. For that, we can go to the sources, but never stay there. Take all the positive things from the our primal sources of culture and build a new, try for a new symbols and a new paradigm. Now, let me conclude with a quotation by Kappen. I think this mobile phone forgot all about this. Yeah. Kappen's words. See, from where these new things must come? Who are to take up the initiative? He says, they will emerge from the struggle of the masses for richer and fuller life, from such humans as having the courage to descend. Clear? Then Kappen says, nothing petrifies the human spirit so much as the party, any political party, the church, the mosque, the temple. Then, hence, the new universe of symbols will be the work of writers, poets, the activists who feel with the masses and are radically honest to the pure urge for creation. This is Kappen's image to all of us, especially for Marx Forum. Thank you.